Hello fellow crafters, this is Martha. Welcome to my channel. I am really excited. I am so excited about this page. I started working on the Griffin pages, layouts from the Create, all of my little scraps and stuff that we were using during the Crop at Home scrapbooking event. And this is the first page that I was putting together. I'm not sure if it's the title page or not, but I started putting it together, and the first part that I want to show you real quick is that in this page layout, we use the embossing folder and then the outside to cut, and you end up building it 3 times in this gorgeous paper with all this fabulous texture. And then I push mine in too tight. I want it to show more. So of course I went back and opened it up more. And you can see once I didn't want to glue everything down. I wanted to show you at this stage where I was before I glue it down. I had a request to kind of show you a little bit more of a step-by-step of how I get to the end. So I didn't glue everything down. And this is pretty much my process. When I'm putting a layout together, I kind of stack everything up and don't quite glue things down. So if you can see that where I'm at here on the gluing process, excuse me, I have this layout right here. Okay, so you have the gray page that's underneath, and then a gorgeous pink, the blue that really, you know, when I looked at it, I said, how is that gonna blend? But with this cool blue on top, it kind of just brings it down and calms that hot pink colors. It kind of really makes it work. I love it. So then the layout requires 2 of these strips, but when I did it during the event, I stacked them up too tight, and I was using glue, wet glue. I must have ran out of my, I usually use the ATG glider, and I can easily kind of pull that apart, especially on embossing paper. So I redid it, and I don't recall if it was 1 or 2 layers, but I did 2 layers of this, and then I put it down, kind of stacked it in the middle, and when you put it down, you end up like so. And I needed a little bit more of a gold piece right here, so I go digging through my scraps, and I find a little tiny strip of the little strip of gold. So that was just a tiny little bit more, but when you put it on, it just makes that little cream color kind of pop up against that. Now, who knows if I'm gonna get credit for that little strip, because guess what? It gets covered up. So the page layout requires 3 mattings, so you get this creamy, and then the floral gold foil, and then this gorgeous blue on top. That is what is required inside. Of course, I had to go an extra step, and I put them down. I looked through my stacks to see what was missing, what I had left over, and I put them down. And I don't know about you, but when I look at that, I'm like, where's all my embossing? Where's my stuff? Where did I do what? So of course, I start taking it apart. And I moved it out of the way. And I said, how can I see that? How can I fix it so I can see it more? And so I put them down, and I put the blue over a floral gold. And guess what? I have a little flip. So this is a super easy little flip, and I'll show you how I did it on the last page. When I started putting it down, I ended up having to use a magnet. Right here is my little magnet, and I had to do that, otherwise it was staying up, and I didn't like that. It kind of didn't have enough power here to stay down. So the blue, the gold, and then you can flip up, and you know I'm gonna have to put a little ribbon on or a tab on that to kind of show my person who's going to look at my scrapbooks to keep opening it up. And then I added this little, this is from the, let's look at it and see which one it is. It's not the one with the little, here. So, yes. So I put this one down, and then I wanted to open it. So when you use this one to open, you don't have this crisp edge to open because it's this little foil, this little lacy part. So it makes it very challenging. This is kind of wimpy to kind of fold and open. So I backed it again with the gold foil, and I was lucky that I had one more piece of paper to do that with. But I'm sure that you can use anything, maybe something in a darker gray would also be pretty. So then I backed the lacy one on the gold, and that gave me power to open it up. So what you end up with is one little flip, and you have two spots to make pictures. And then you have another little flip, and you have two big spots to do pictures. Okay, so now you can put that down. But if I add one more flip, then I'll be able to see this gorgeous gold. So that is my goal. So the other thing I did was I added this gorgeous, cut this one out, and I was thinking this would be pretty right here to kind of hide my magnet. And what I did on the back is I did a little chipboard frame around it so that I can glue that down, and then I'll be able to slide a little picture from the back. It's what my goal is. Or a little note, a little love note or something. I'll be able to slide this in once it's glued in, is what my goal is. Now let me show you this also. When I made this little piece here, it is from this die cut right here. And this die cut does not have a blade on the inside. So you're actually making a mat. It is a solid piece of paper. So when I cut it on my die cut, or when I run it through my little impress, I put a piece of gold paper down, and I put this one. Let's make sure we're doing this. And then what I did is I stacked this one inside. You see that? And it's still in there, so you can kind of see what's going on. It would be right here. This one went right on top of it. And then this one went right there. Okay? And then this little piece is the part that does cut. So here you have your entire piece of paper. So I wanted this piece to be open. I wanted to use it as a photo mat, a frame. So, and then that gives me, this is what gives me that little curly Q frame cut on the inside. Now, of course, you can go and cut it with your straight edge cutter. That would be just fine, but I kind of wanted that little fancy look, and it is so easy to run this all together in your impress, and you end up with this little piece, the little frame that you can use later. And here is our little piece that we can glue to this to hide that magnet. So that's what I wanted to show you that I did on that one first. And then of course, my little hinge system is actually this little extra gold piece. I left a little 1/4 inch on underneath here. There's a little bit of a 1/4 inch here, and I covered it up with a little strip, a tiny little strip that when you cut this die cut, you're going to end up with the negatives or the ugly parts of this, and there is no ugly parts when we're cutting with Anna Griffin dies. So therefore, that's where I put that little piece. And yes, I can keep stacking it higher and higher, but I'm afraid that it's going to get covered up with the picture, so I just stopped at one just to hide that little hinge because I don't like seeing those. And then this one goes here, and then you go and open it, and then you get two big pieces. And more than likely, I will put something pretty on the inside to put something over here. I just haven't done that part. This is the Rose 3D. Is this not the most fabulous die you've ever seen? So maybe I'll do that. I'm not sure yet, but I wanted to show you this little process that I was in. So here you have these two there. This one will go about right here. And then what I wanted to show you is how to add a hinge. Super easy, no big deal, so that I can keep framing this up. So I get a 110 piece of stock paper. You can also use 60. I usually use the 110. Maybe that's why my hinges are so strong and I need a magnet to hold them down. I hadn't thought about that. I hate measuring things, so I usually just kind of use whatever I'm measuring, and I cut it right there. I put a little dot on it to see what I'm going to do. Moving my little scraps, and here we go. Super easy. I'm gonna go a little bit smaller than where my little pencil line is because this is gonna be the hinge. And I need 2 hinges, and here is a 2.5 inch. So if I go to 1 1/4, I can split that in half. Okay, that means I get a 1 1/4 piece for a hinge, and then I kind of just eyeball it. Now here's the thing when we eyeball this, and when we're working with the particular paper cutter that I have, is that when you bring it down, you don't always grab the piece of paper with this piece. This one did hold pretty good, so I'm good with that. And then we're gonna go even smaller. And you hold here. And yes, there's a little attachment that goes to my paper cutter, and sometimes I do have it on there, but right now I don't, so I use the burnisher, and we're gonna be forcing ourselves to get a crease in there, just like so. Okay, and then I'm not sure which direction you're supposed to fold. I thought where you crease, you fold away. I thought that was the rule, but it's I don't know if there's rules for that. This is paper crafting. Are we supposed to be breaking rules or following the rules? So here is the hinge system that I have for this, okay? There is my little hinge. Super easy to do. If you want a bigger hinge, you can use the whole strip. It's totally up to you. So we wanted to do the whole strip here. Put it in between. We were saying this was 1 1/4, so about right there's the right spot. You get your little burnisher or your scoring tool, and you go straight up and down. Okay, and now you have a little bit of a thicker hinge to use. And then you can do, I like to use this little tape here, tear tape. Is good to go down on the paper. Does that make any sense? This is the one that goes on the paper or the page layout. I'm trying to make sure you ladies, crafters, can see this. So here we go. One is going to go down on the strip. Okay, and then I like to have one that is wet glue so that I can adjust where I want to go with it. So this one is going to be my side that opens this way, right? So the hinge is going to be on this outer gold side, and we're going to attach to here. So only one little tiny bit of the tape gets pulled up away. So you can do this with any mats that you're putting down. We all love how beautiful the matting looks when we do double mats. Well, how about if we actually used those first and second mats to hide or to add more pictures to the layout you already have? So I have that down there, and I am adding this to, this was supposed to be my wet glue, and here I am. So now I'm going to add another one of very strong score tape. This is used to make all those beautiful mini books that everybody loves. Okay, so here's my paper, my actual page layout. And let's say this one is going to sit somewhere in that area. So I'm thinking that this little blue should show some of it and maybe some of the edging on the outside. So I kind of just do a little look and see where I want it. I think that might be good. A little bit of this gold showing, maybe a little bit higher so I can see some cream. And then what we're going to do is pull this part away. Excuse me. So we have right here a little bit of the blue showing, a little bit of the cream, and we're going down right in this area. Here we go. Okay, and then I can slowly start to pull this away. So it's really strong and holding on to all the little areas. My tear tape just tore there, ladies, and so here you go. You get the other edge and you start pulling it away, and it's going to kind of tear right there. and you bring it down, and there your hinge is on your page. So you can play with this one, and then you can play with this one, and then you can play with this one. Very nice and easy that you can do this. So now you have 2 pictures, 3 pictures, excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's what I was thinking, that this page layout could hold 10 pictures once I put it together, or 9 pictures and some journaling, or a whole lot of journaling. I love to leave little secret messages in my books in places you can't see if everybody is looking at your book. You don't have to show your special love letters, your secrets that you're leaving behind for your family to see. So now I was thinking that this would go here, and I'm kind of playing with how to embellish. I like to stay in groups of 3. So I found these pretty flowers that have that little same flower that kind of looks like this flower. So I'm kind of going with that, and I kind of put it going up, then maybe a little bird. I found a little gold bird die somewhere. I love to have some of the little foil leaves going somewhere. There we go. There we go. And here we are, okay? Something in that family is what I'm looking at. So then same thing over here. I wanted to kind of pick up some of the little orange and yellow, some of these little areas. I felt like I could pull some of the yellow little leaves on it. So I found a little yellow flower, a little white flower I think belongs to Christmas, and kind of move that around and add some more little areas. Okay. I know there's another set right here. And this set came with gorgeous butterflies right there. So bringing back a darker red. I know that red is from the Christmas collection. And maybe adding that yellow on top. I'm kind of thinking something like that. And I found a little gold butterfly, some leaves. That is what I'm looking at. So super easy. I just wanted to show you how my page was going. I'm gonna add the hinge to the other side, and then I will be almost ready with this layout. I will start putting the little pages together, excuse me, the little embellishments put together, and then I'll come and show you where I'm at. Right now I'm just on my lunch break from work, so it's time for me to get back to work and then play with this when I come back. So ladies, thank you so much for watching. Crafters, excuse me. We have lots of crafters, and I'm super happy that you guys are subscribing and commenting, and I just kind of wanted to show you a quick little fix on where we are on this page. So I kind of was looking to figure out how we could still see all of this gorgeous paper. Now I have to tell you, my hinge, I do not like the way that looks when I get done. So you know I'm gonna have a ton of scraps, and we're gonna hide it like so somehow. And this one is even a 3-piece of scraps, and so that is gonna get hidden somehow, some kind of way. I just was kind of trying to see how it was going to work first. And I want to show you where I was on my steps. So the magnet is holding from here, and I wanna say to right here. So that holds everything in on that spot. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk later. Thanks, bye.